Hi everyone. I'm so sorry that the technology issues have prevented me from joining you today, but I did want to still share a little bit with you about our programs. So my name is Dr. Christina Lensman, and I am the Education Program Coordinator for the Aiken at Sumter Education Program, and I'll talk more about what that means in a minute. But I wanted to share with you today because I know some of you are thinking about being teachers, some of you may just be thinking about working in education in general, and others of you may just be curious about what USC Sumter has to offer. So the program that I work with is what we call a 2+2 program. And what that means is the first 2 years, students are Sumter students. So you follow the Carolina Core, which is the same thing that USC Columbia students follow. It's smaller class sizes than what you might get at USC Columbia or at USC Aiken in their gen ed classes, and it's also less expensive than pretty much any four-year college. Then, after 2 years, students transfer to Aiken, but they don't leave Sumter. They just transfer in terms of who their education is through, but you stay at USC Sumter. And what's so great about that is you have the benefit of both Sumter and Aiken resources. So you can use our library here as well as the library at Aiken. You can get tutoring services at Sumter and also at Aiken. But then you also get the benefit of a bachelor's degree while being at home with face-to-face classes here. There are both face-to-face and virtual classes through USC Aiken, but as the program grows, we get to have more and more face-to-face classes here on campus. So for the education program, we have a Bachelor of Arts in Education, both in early childhood and elementary. And the difference in South Carolina is early childhood prepares you for preschool through 3rd grade, and elementary prepares you for 2nd through 6th grade. And the curricula are very different. So one of the first things you would do when you decide you want to go to one of those programs is talk with me about who you want to teach and why, and we can determine which path would be right for you. One thing to know about South Carolina now is that if you get an elementary degree, after you graduate, you can take the praxis, which is the test of kind of teacher knowledge, for early childhood. You cannot do it from early childhood to elementary, but you can take the praxis if you are prepared for elementary for early childhood. The Bachelor of Science in Nursing program that we have at USC Sumter is brand new, and it's going to work very similar to the education programs. So what you'll do is you'll spend your first 2 years receiving an Associate of Science degree. We do not have an Associate of Science in nursing. At USC Sumter, it's just a general Associate of Science or Associate of Arts. Once you finish that Associate of Science degree, you would transfer to Aiken, just like our education folks do, but you'd stay in Sumter. We have a brand new nursing lab that we're developing here. Our nursing coordinator, Miss Tina Simonson, has worked in healthcare in Sumter for many years, and she's a great resource. So just like with the education program, you get the Sumter resources and the Aiken resources. So it's a really exciting new program. And if you're thinking about working in healthcare, this is a great opportunity that's coming to Sumter. The Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, again, works very similarly. 2 years as a Sumter student, 2 years as an Aiken student. You stay in Sumter to do all of your coursework, your internship, whatever it is that you do along with that degree. So just like nursing, just like education, you have both resources at your disposal, and you can stay in town to get that bachelor's degree. So why USC Sumter? Well, we offer the same caliber education that you can get at USC Columbia with smaller class sizes, more individual advising because there are fewer students, so your professors get to know you really well and can advise you when you decide that you want to change your major or your concentration. We're here to give you advice. You get to invest in your local community that has served you. We have professional student associations, so SPEES is our Student Professional Education Association of Sumter, And that's actually a collaborative effort with Central Carolina. So anyone who's interested in education in Sumter and is pursuing that, either as an education student, somebody who wants to become a speech pathologist, someone who wants to become a school psychologist, anyone that's interested in being an education professional can be a part of that association. And for your first 2 years, your courses are less expensive than a traditional 4-year degree would be. Being a USC Aiken student at Sumter has some of its own benefits as well. Bachelor's degree at home, which is a huge draw, I think, for many students who want to stay in the area and get that full 4-year degree. You get advice from both campuses. You get to have local field experiences, whether it's clinical experiences for nursing, student teaching for education, or internship for bachelor's for the business program. Like I said before, you get both access to both Sumter and Aiken resources, and we can connect you with local businesses as well as businesses or schools or hospitals in Aiken. So you have those connections in both communities, which is a really great opportunity. Some of you also may be interested in the Palmetto College programs. These are similar to the 2+2 that we have through Aiken, except they're fully online. So your first 2 years are not fully online. Those will be as a Sumter student. So same thing, Carolina Core, small class size is less expensive than a 4-year college. But then for your second 2 years, so your second half of your degree, you'd be fully online through Palmetto College, which is through the University of South Carolina, Columbia. So the way the Palmetto College program works is each campus has some programs they offer, and Aiken offers a lot of them. Special education is one, business is one, and so just as you'd have the benefits of Sumter and Aiken resources through the 2+2 programs, the Palmetto College programs also give you those resources. So there are a lot of Palmetto College programs. This is the whole list. The ones that my picture is blocking say sociology and special education, but there are a large variety. And I know some of you were interested in doing psychology. So I'm going to talk about that one specifically. There are 2 options for Palmetto College, either one through Aiken or one through Beaufort. So I can talk about both of them. Some of you also wanted more information about things in the medical field. So we have the nursing program as one of our 2+2. There's also a health informatics program through Palmetto College that I'm not entirely familiar with, but I will give you the contact information at the end of the presentation if you want to explore that further. The 2 options to get a psychology bachelor's through the Palmetto College program are either through Aiken or Beaufort. So as I said, Palmetto College, each program is run through one of the campuses, but it's a fully online program. For the Aiken program, you have to have 45 to 60 hours to enter the bachelor's program, so that second 2 years. Those 45 to 60 hours you would get at USC Sumter, then you transfer and you become a PC, Palmetto College student. Overall, you have to have a 2.0 GPA to get in, and then they recommend that you complete all of those classes that are listed before you start the process to transfer. The Beaufort program is much different in that you have to have a cognate once you become a Palmetto College student, so you have to have a minor, essentially. Human Services, Hospitality Management, Public Health, and Sociology are the ones that are available to Palmetto College students. Also, you could complete the gerontology certificate as the minor or the cognate. Similar to Aiken, 2.0 requirement, 40 to 60 hours. And also, you have to look at Beaufort's gen ed requirements. They have some different things that they require from what Aiken might require. So those are the 2 options if you're interested in pursuing an online psychology degree in Sumter, being able to stay in Sumter for your first 2 years. So I know there's a lot of information. Some of you probably have questions. If you have questions about the education program, you can get in contact with me, Christina Lunsman. My email is listed there and my phone number. If you have questions about the nursing program, Miss Tina Simonson is who you'd want to reach out to, and her email and phone number are listed. Dr. Santosh Nandi is who is the contact person for the business administration program. And then if one of those Palmetto College programs was of interest to you, their contact information is there as well. There is also the option to pursue elementary education through Palmetto College. I know quite a bit about that process too, so if you have questions about that, you could contact me. In fact, if you have questions about anything that I said, I'm happy to answer them and get you in touch with somebody that might be able to help you even further. So if you have questions about the admissions process or financial aid or athletics, I put their information there as well. Some of you may be thinking about playing sports for us, becoming a fire ant, and so I thought you might want to know about that. Please feel free to get in touch. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me today, and I hope that you all are really excited about the opportunity of maybe being able to stay in Sumter to get your bachelor's degree.